ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Saturday Smackdown for the week 25th of October 2014. What a series it has been so far. Possibly the longest I've ever casted with you, Zuta, right? This is in one evening. I don't even know what the time is. I'm probably going to have to start being quiet soon. It's that late, right? We started at 9, and my flatmates, they're like, this guy, what is he shouting at his computer screen? At least he's having a good time, right? Anyway, guys, in the south of the map here, in the colour teal, we do indeed have Mitoe playing as the French. This map, guys, Great Plains hype in the chat, please, in the north of the map. In the colour blue, actually, no, don't spam the chat, don't do that. We have indeed Aizamk playing as the Germans. Both players starting with 1 coin, 1 wood. So that does make things awkward in terms of, like, you can't go for a trading post even if you wanted one here, which I think can be a valid decision. But this matchup is certainly a very interesting one. France and Germany, both similar in the sense that they have a strong early game economy, but different. And Zuta, I'm going to hand it over to you.
First of all, I just want to make a comment on what you said about the people living in your apartment wondering what you're doing yelling at your computer screen. I had that exact same thing. Like my roommates, before they knew like that I streamed and like that's what I was doing, they probably thought I was like crazy. Like when I was just like sitting in my room like yelling at my screen and like yelling about like nonsensical things, or what they probably considered to be nonsensical things. They probably thought I was quite crazy as well. But,
yeah, right now it's 11:45 where I am.
Yeah.
They're like, this guy. Actually, to be fair, they're probably out having fun, so anyway. But we see a market going down for both players.
Yeah, and it looks like they're just going to be picking up hunting dogs. This matchup, just because it wasn't a high wood count start, means we're not going to have any shenanigans for the middle trading post or anything like that, which I kind of prefer.
There is a bit of conflict over a treasure, though. I think the blue player is going to be able to comfortably get that, though there is 1 full HP Coyote. Here comes Mitoe going in to get the treasure, but Aizamk does use his crack shot there, going to safely secure the 75 coin. He may not have wanted to use the crack shot. There may be another treasure nearby that he could indeed use that on, but that is not the case. Often you will save your crack shot. They're picking up 75 coin, a nice little bit of hype there. Zuta, what were you saying?
Yeah, well, just to tail off what you were saying, usually I try not to have to crack shot coyotes, just because you can 3-shot them with range damage attacks with the Explorer.
Yeah.
That you are better off saving it for the Renegados or
it's worth saving. I'm of this opinion. On my stream earlier today, I was just streaming because I felt like it, just to make sure that my connection was working for Saturday Smackdown later today. Anyway, people were saying, why don't you crack shot when you have it ready, like on the Coyotes? And the reason I don't is because just in case there's like a, some outlaw rifleman that you have to kill on a big treasure, you'd be disappointed not to be able to get because you used it on a Coyote. Right,
it really depends on the map. On this particular map, there's like really good treasures. There's 80 wood, which has grizzly bears, 2 grizzly bears. There's 95 wood, which has 2 outlaw riflemen. There's 140 food, which has the riding outlaw guy, the outlaw rider. There's just lots of like good treasures like that, but you don't really want to use your crack shot for, just in case you do happen to stumble across one of those treasures. You want to be able to take that treasure. On some maps, there aren't a lot of treasures, and there's not a lot of good treasures, like Himalayas. Like, you're probably fine just crack shotting like a tiger or whatever, because that's probably the best thing you're going to have to crack shot. There's not going to be as many good treasures to crack shot. So, so I kind of play it by the map, just depending on what map it is, depends on how I use my crack shot.
Yeah, both players now aging with the 400 wood politician indeed. Actually, I will just check that actually, because I may be wrong. I just assume that they're going up with that.
Yeah,
but
it is,
okay,
Quartermaster.
But we see Mitoe having significantly more hunt in his base. He's done a very good job of getting the herd that are close to him into his town. He's going to have a really nice time during the colonial age. Plenty of food to do whatever he pleases with. Aizamk, not as many hunt, but certainly does have the 1. He's still going to be able to be completely competitive with that. And, yeah, we'll see what he's doing. But, Mitoe adding in the trading site. Both players having sent the villager shipments here, which are so good for these civilizations. 2 settler wagons, the equivalent of 4 villagers, 3 Carrera Dubois just better than villagers. What are we going to see in this matchup?
You know, I'm still trying to figure that out. I think, I mean, obviously Ace likes to do fortress-based stuff. Yep. Mitoe has intentions of taking both trading posts. I know these guys play a lot. In fact, and I mean, I play quite a bit, especially with Mitoe, because he's in my time zone. He's a good player. Gives good games. I know these guys tend to play a lot, and when they do tend to play, that, you know, like, basically Mitoe has tried to figure out a style specifically to beat Ace's style, and it looks like Ace is just going to be doing his trading post mercenary shenanigans, which he usually likes to do. So
this is true.
He does have the outpost going down.
Yeah, it's clear at this point in the game, right? Both players have intentions of going into the Fortress Age, which is, I think, actually quite good. I mean, certainly France can play Colonial. They've got that nice Musk-Huss agenda that they can have, and you know, he is starting with a stable, so
yeah. Like, I think it's just going to be like a 5 SR semi-FF. Yeah, I don't think we'll see him drop a Rax. I guess it's going to come 700 wood. That's kind of surprising. I think if you're going to see a more traditional semi-FF, I think you would maybe see 4 CDB first. But he does have, you know, the 700 wood, or a lot of XP rather from his trading post. So
what's he going to do with the wood, though? It does perhaps this, you know, 700 wood does sort of like, because he's going to lay down some houses. He's going to lay down a Rax. It indicates some more of a colonial agenda style of play here. Going to play defensively. Perhaps that's what he wants to do with the, you know, crazy amount of hunt that he has. But then still, Fortress Age would be really nice for him, especially with these 2 trading posts. Certainly interesting. We'll have to keep an eye on what he is doing.
He could just use it to improve his tech and stuff. Like, he could just get like Stagecoach, and maybe, you know, add in. Looks like he's going to add in the second Rax. So looks like he's just going to play some sort of time-based eco French and try and catch A's before he can age up. We do see A's. I mean, with this kind of slower build that he does do, it does, you know, he doesn't have that many resources just yet. So
yeah, I think I quite like what Mitoe is doing in response to A's. I mean, Mitoe is definitely likely to have seen this before, right? The classic double tower, playing as Germany, mercenaries. We've seen mercenaries. We're not necessarily sure if he will do that, but, you know, it's certainly something on his mind. If that is indeed what he does,
you can almost guarantee it. Yeah,
you can in normal Age of Empires. Maybe not, but this is Aizamk we're talking about, right? He sent 2 villagers, followed by 3 villagers, followed by 2 villagers. I mean settler wagons when I say villagers, right? But this is really slow. This means that it's, so to speak, not gonna, like, when he gets up to Fortress, when he starts to age, and during his aging time, he's gonna be really vulnerable, right? I guess the 2 towers do help here, but France gonna come in with lots of units whilst he's aging, and it's that point in time, right, where damage could be done, and Ace could find himself in a bit of a sticky wicket.
And I would like to see, like, I like to see these Huss applying pressure right now, but I think I would like to see everything else pooling, like, right about here, and waiting for, like, another 10 muskets, and then just pushing with, like, 20 muskets and 10 Hussar on top of the base right as he's aging. I don't know that you can necessarily stop the age up here, and I don't know that you necessarily need to try and stop the age up here. It looks like someone's dropping. Something's dropping.
I'm still here, right? You can hear me?
Yeah, I can...
This is, ZutaZuta. It's come up with your name.
Has it?
ZutaZuta.
It popped up and then disappeared, if you know what I mean, the way it does that.
Can you see me typing?
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, well, looks like here we go. I don't know what's going on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Saturday Smackdown.
I'm not sure what's going on.
This fight, it was not really much of a fight. It's just a couple of cavalry, right, that he got for free due to the German, bonus. That's what they get, free cavalry units. And here, now just going to siege down these towers. Is this tower going to buy him the time he needs? Of course, he is now aging with the age up. That's the age up fast politician.
Yeah.
2 towers, normally not so good, but 2 of them, right? 30 damage.
See, this is what I was saying. Like, he's taking a lot of damage here. That's why I just wanted to see him just pool his army, like, right here for, like, just a couple seconds. Just get that extra, like, batch of muskets so that he could just have, like, the full siege potential. Yeah. He can keep running around with the cav and keep the villagers occupied.
Inside the
but then, like, just have all the muskets ready and ready to go, like right at the same time.
Like if you've got 10 musks and you send them in against 2 towers and town center fire, not so good. Like they're going to take lots of damage, you're going to lose them quite quickly. But if you've got 20 musks all pumping out 20 damage worth of musketeer siege damage, and then you go all in at when they arrive, yeah, definitely right. I think that's quite strong here. But we see, of course, 3 Doppelsodners was that popping out, obviously with the 2 Yolans as well, calling the Minutemen perhaps a little bit late. But that was, that could have been quite convincing there actually. But unfortunately, perhaps not trapping his opponent in the way that he wanted to as effectively as he could have done.
Yeah, and French's eco is really, really good right now. And this is always the issue with this build that I have with Ace. Like, you invest so much in these towers, yeah, it does help you, with your defense slightly, but it slows your age up down so much to the fact that, like, I don't know, like, what he's going to do. Like, he had to ship 3 Dops just so he didn't die to cav raids, and now, like, he might still be dead. Like, Mitoe from here, I'm fairly certain can just siege houses with these 20 or so odd muskets and just make it so that A's can never ship cards. Like, and that probably just ends the game.
This is like whilst we were saying we wanted to see some sort of Fortress Age play out of French, I think that can be really strong. I think what Mitoe has done is almost a counter build to A's, like A's specific style of German, which is this weird mercenary stuff. We see he's now, of course, shipped in his 3 war wagons. They're going to be very effective against those cavalry, and the 3 Yolans that you get going to do some work here, using the villagers defensively to sort of, the extra 10 hand attack there, and also to sponge some damage. Going to do lots of damage there, but unfortunately losing one of them.
Yeah, and Mitoe's just having a really good appropriate response. You're just continuing the pressure. 3 Hussar, 8 crossbowmen, just keeping up the unit production. At this point, he's pretty much committed to not aging up. I mean, obviously, if you were to try and age right now, it would just give A's so much time that he really can't afford to let him have.
Yeah.
And just keeping the units streaming across the map.
Like,
you can see just 10 muskets at a time coming across the map.
It looks really desperate right now. Like, 3 war wagons aren't going to hold much, especially against crossbowmen that do ×2 against, ranged cavalry such as them. Using the settlers there, settler wagons defensively. It's very desperate. They're all idle completely. Gonna lose? No, not quite another settler wagon. But, whilst no resources are coming in for Ace to replace his units, and indeed he has no place to even train them, even if he was collecting resources. Mitoe consistently bringing in new batches of units. This is quite a convincing build against specifically what Ace does. But also, it looks like standard France, which is good too.
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned that he's sieging the TC. I think that's definitely a mistake. Should be sieging the houses at this point, just because...
Skirmishers popping out, though, going to be able to push those, mostly an army composed of infantry, like musketeers, away. And actually going to be able to hold this, the villagers getting back to work. But he is fairly far behind in terms of the amount of villagers he actually has and the resources he's able to generate. So I'm not sure how long this... I mean, you can see that more units are piling from Mitoe.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Mitoe's just made a couple positional mistakes with his army so far. The pooling of the of the army is one thing I would like to see, and the fact that he just went for a circle siege on the TC there, obviously not so good. But still, I mean, he's in a perfectly fine spot. He's pretty much denied the resources of Ace at this point.
You see, he's done, the amount of damage that you could do to a house on that town centre. So, whilst he could, plus there's already a damaged house there, he could, take out 2 houses, potentially, with the amount of damage he did to that town centre. So, the town centre can be repaired for half the cost that it's actually worth, or the amount of damage it's taken, so, yeah.
Yeah, and he's just going to brute force it now. He's got some pikes coming in, and it looks like he's just going to try and go seal the deal. There's not really any anti-cav here, so these skirmishers are going to fall down pretty quick to these 10 or so odd husks that are out on the map.
So many husks. Those skirms doing so much work for him, but going to get completely wrecked by these hussars here. Though that coin mine causing them a couple of pathing issues, but ultimately I don't think it's going to matter. Using the villagers defensively again. And ultimately, Aze's style, lots of villagers, shipments in the early game, just not really being able to use them to collect any resources to his advantage. Perhaps something less villager shipments and more actual tangible stuff that you can do. Maybe.
Yeah, and there's the GG. Town center's down.
The GG. Mitoe takes the series 4 games to 3. No, 4 games. 3. Yes, with
4 games to 3.
4 games to 3 hours, right. Yes, all 7 games being played in this series. What a fantastic series it has been. Of course, we had some really long games, and I think Mitoe versus Aizamk, a very good matchup here. Of course, Aizamk won it the previous time, but Mitoe, he learns from his mistakes and has, created perhaps a style, or just he is more aware of how Aiz plays and has played in such a way to, in a way, be better against Aiz or even counter Aiz. Some crazy games we played.
Those were some crazy games. All right, so Steve, do you have the raffle copter fueled up and ready for takeoff?